life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of, no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal, though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Welcome everybody to the Nexus Gaming Series. I will be your host tonight. I guess I don't really need these on me anymore. For the matchup between Who Knows Gaming and ReGen Blue, both teams sitting kind of at the bottom of the standings, still hoping for a couple wins to get them into a playoff spot. Have updated everything, so we will go over the picks and bans. Who Knows Gaming lost to Flip. ReGen Blue took first pick. Who Knows Gaming banned out BOE and Alterac Pass, while ReGen Blue took out Braxis and Volskaya. We will be going to Sky Temple. Kind of an odd choice to begin a series with, but in the end, still a good choice, something I like. Generally, if someone's gonna bring you here, it's for a reason. We have a off-roster sub. Coming out for Who Knows Gaming, or sorry, for my bad, for ReGen Blue. I think we've got an off-roster sub coming in. For Who Knows Gaming. I'm just updating everybody. Okay, so that is going to be our... Oh, no, I'm so confused. Yeah, I still need to sort out who is who and what. General. So I'd like to get some statistics. Bring up Who Knows Gaming, see what they like to play. There. I think people need to be swiped up. We have, okay, so we do have two different subs for Who Knows Gaming, which is pretty intense. Let's go back onto the screen. That'll be interesting. We have Crazy Buttes and Wanji filling in for Shakiro and Dr. Ziegel. We're going to have August Sun playing for ReGen. That's going to be updated. I'm all set on my end, so let's go see how everyone is faring in here. just getting things straight for everybody, though they need to swap team names. Anyways, I wanted to go over a bit of what we're looking at statistics-wise for both these teams off of the Heroes profile website, which is the new replacement for the now pretty much debunked HOTS logs is Heroes profile. So Augustin is coming in, subbing out for ReGen and Blue Fox, who unfortunately left the team. Looking to see what they like to play. Most played is ETC, Chen, and Anduin. Highest win rate are things like Maiev, Gul'dan, and Artanis. And they've been lately playing things like Tychus, Brawl, and Garrosh. And that is ReGen Blue. Alright, I'm just giving you the ready signal to let everyone know. Hey 2D, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Everyone is not aware, 2D Moss is pretty much single-handedly responsible for my stream being where it is. If you're at all interested in streaming, he has some great videos online for new casters who want to get into it. And he really helps us to get it set up. So shout out to my boy. Thanks for showing up today, checking in on me. I appreciate it. We're going to get right into the draft here. So I didn't really go over what to expect from Who Knows Gaming. They also like to play Anduin, so that's going to be contested. Jaina and Raynor are common pickups. We also see things like Orphea. ETC is also played and won with quite a bit. Well, at least for their win rates. And then Zool is an interesting pickup to see. And the latest play that we've seen from them mostly are like ETC, Leoric, and Kel'Thuzad. They like to play some odd things like Mal'Ganis. They like to play Nazebo. Kel'Thuzad has definitely made his appearance a couple times. So Who Knows Gaming definitely having a pretty interesting setup when it comes down to the drafts. But as we can see here, we're going to be getting a Nubrak band as well as Johanna. So it's just a huge tank. Everyone's just going after the tanks this time. Let's take a look to see what statistics we are talking about. So 26% win rate for Diablo is not good at all. ETC, on the other hand, is a different story entirely. We're going to see a 77% win rate. That's a good ban. Johanna, take a look at. Also has a 64% win rate, so that's a good ban. And a noob, I'm actually curious. I'm pretty sure his win rate has gone down drastically. Yeah, 33%. So super popular, banned a lot, but still not a big pickup. And we're going to see Anna first picked. And some people are believing that the Anna is really not paying off, but the statistics in B-West are not necessarily showing up to that. We are seeing a 50% win rate. Despite her popularity, that's pretty good. Lucio popping up there at a 58% win rate at a lower popularity rate. And that's a good thing there. So Jason's going to be picking up the Anna. Eminem Hitman is going to pick up the Jaina. And Crazy Buttes looks like is going to be picking up the Lucio. So that's an interesting pickup. Now we're going to grab Murden, who I'm actually quite curious to see what Murden's stats are like. Now we've removed most of the tank pool here. 31% win rate with a 22% popularity. So not really working out for the teams that have been taking it too frequently. But I think Mongoose here is looking to make that change happen here and now. Raynor is going to be picked up by Larson. Raynor's statistics, I think, are interesting. And already the bans already through. Thrall and Arthas are gone. I am almost positive Thrall's win rate has got to be actually quite high. 56%. Popularity isn't as high as you think it would be, though, so interesting pickup there. We are going to grab Dahaka by Lupus, as well as a Tyrael. So an interesting front line here. We've got Dahaka and Tyrael coming out. So we've got Sound Barrier plus Sanctification, which is a lot of defensive tools. Engage right now is still a little limited on the side. Let's actually take a look at the Tyrael. I'm quite interested to see how well it's been doing on this side of things. And I think its win rate is absolutely nothing. So we thought the Muradin was a risky pick. Apparently the Tyrael is actually significantly more so. Varian, Abathur, August Sun going to be whipping out the Varian. And Grendel going to be paying Abathur. He's got a lot of hours logged into that hero, so it's a good pickup for them. It's Tyrael. I don't know why it says. And we're going to get Falstad. So Falstad is going to round out our draft here. We got double global on Sky Temple. This is a good way to start. I definitely think it's It's a very interesting setup. Abathur, I don't think, has a very high win rate either, so it really just kind of comes down to execution with this. But Abathur is very strong. Actually, 50% win rate is respectable. It is strong on this. So we've got two globals that can be a real problem for Abathur because they're going to be able to pick up all that extra soak and then come into those team fights. So just make sure everything is updated. That way, when I do the game switch, of course, it doesn't work the first time, as always. I'll be able to get the names up nice and clear for everyone to see. We are on the right sides of the battlefield. Blue team is Who Knows Gaming. And the red team is going to be ReGen Blue, ironically. But it's bound to happen. So on the blue side, we have Wolf on the Tyrael, Eminem Hitman playing the Jaina, Lupa64 on the Dahaka, Zwanja, or Zwanha, what, Zwane? Zuwane? I don't know. He'll have to tell me in the chat. Suwane, maybe? Something, I don't know. Maybe the J is silent. Maybe it's not silent. Is on Falstad, and Crazy Buttes is on the Lucio. On the red side of the map, we have Mongoose on the Muradin, Jason playing the Ana, August Sun on the Varian, Larson playing the Rainer, and Grendel is playing Abathur. So despite popular and overlapping picks on the Anduin, we're actually not seeing it picked up in this draft at all. We're going to see Falstaff move forward, see if we can get a few stacks. That's going to be your opening thing. Vision is going to go squarely to Who Knows Gaming, as ReGen Blue doesn't seem all that confident in taking an early game fight with an Abathur and a Varian who can't really do anything. We're probably going to have clone Abathur on Muradin a lot, perhaps a little bit on the Rainer as well. Kind of depending on whether they want disruption or if they want a lockdown or if they want like kill pressure. Not that Muradin doesn't bring kill pressure. He absolutely does. Muradin's one of those weird tanks that, like, his kit is entirely designed to absorb damage, and he can peel for his team with storm bolts. But since his peel is almost tied entirely to body blocking his W and storm bolts, it's not as straightforward as peels from other tanks. But with an Abathur hat, the thing about Muradin is he can survive really long in a backline. And with an Abathur hat plus certain builds, especially since we're already seeing the Perfect Storm being picked up, which generally means if you're going for Perfect Storm, you're going for that damage output, he can sit in a backline and just kind of blow them up. So Jaina, Falstad, definitely need to watch out. Lucio, for that matter. Need to watch out for Mongoose's pressure that he can apply on that Muradin with an Abathur hat. Gonna try to clear out this bot lane while ReGen Blue attempts to clear out these giants. Wolf did a pretty good job of just kind of getting over here in the way. making sure they don't enter the lane, which would actually help Mongoose tons in clearing this out. But they do get a couple rocks actually thrown at one of the giants, and that's going to help out immensely. But in the end, the advantage does seem to be going towards ReGen Blue in this bot lane. No, Who Knows Gaming in this bot lane because of that. We did see a bit of a look. They wanted to see if they could invade, but the call came out too slow, so Who Knows Gaming did not manage to get any pressure in. We do have Twin Blades Varian, which not a big surprise. As soon as the High Queen King's quest is generally the indicator that we're going to be getting Twin Blades Varian. It can be Colossus match as well, but I generally think that Twin Blades with an Abathur hat is quite frightening. So Mongoose with an Abathur hat is finally going to clear this out, but I mean, look how long this took for this wave, for this Abathur hat, for Myrden to even clear this out. Tyrael with those shields, making it really quite difficult. Myrden's going to come into the mid lane. I don't know if he's going to steal a couple shots. I would. You have vision. No, you know the rotation wasn't coming in there. I don't know why you don't just step on there and grab a couple shots just for the hell of it and then leap yourself out. The thing about Who Knows Gaming is they don't have a lot of lockdown for Myrden, and that means he should be able to get away with all kinds of crazy stuff. As long as his dwarf tosses up and he's got a wall to pop himself over, he should absolutely have the mobility advantage. Yeah, Tyrael can chase him down, but Tyrael can't kill a Myrden 1v1. Not fast enough in the sense that it would make any legitimate difference. To see 4-man, and that is a crazy tongue, but it's going to land on the Myrden. He does get knocked back a little bit, and Falstad's going to see if he can actually secure this kill. But the stun does come out, so he doesn't manage to actually secure it. Mongoose will be able to heal all that way up. And so the most of the top shrine did go to ReGen Blue. I think they got almost all of it. Mid shots are going to be entirely picked up by Who Knows Gaming, and I'm going to give them a slight advantage in that exchange, but with that camp that they got, actually pushed up on this wall super hard. And I think that's just some of the siege damage that kind of comes into it all. I think ReGen's draft is very straightforward. I think it's a simple Abathur draft. Like, you've got a great sustained backline damage dealing coming from Raynor. You've got fantastic sustained healing coming from Ana. You have a backline harass tool like Myrden that can just be a real pain in the ass and can peel. And then on top of that, you've got Twin Blades Varian with an Abathur hat, which if he gets onto any target and he isn't stunned out and dealt with, is going to probably wipe a team. The biggest fear I see on the side of Who Knows Gaming is the fact that they don't, once they spend their big, they have to kill someone off of their big defensive tools. So they will probably have Gust, although they might go Hinterlands. It's very possible. They'll most definitely have Sound Barrier, and we might also see Sanctification. We can see right here. But I think August Sun might die here. I don't know if he can regen enough off of that, and that's going to be a kill. It's one of those questions that it's hard to answer. In the past, a fort kill was almost always worth the death because you would get the chunk of experience you would earn from a fort kill would be significantly more than a hero kill. But since it's passive experience, it's not quite as good. But a fort is down, which structure advantage is your straight up lifeline. So I think despite being behind an AXP and despite giving away that kill, ReGen Blue's still kind of ahead on the map. And this is kind of the cheat tool of Abathur. Having this here is really rough because, again, it makes those shots almost pointless. They're not dropping structures, then it's not good enough. ReGen Blue's not going to hard engage onto this until they hit 10s, but they do want to be in position down here and ready to go as soon as 10s are hit. So I'd like to see August Sun just rotate down here and get in position and get ready to dive onto them because they already got half a channel. And they want to make sure that they stop this bottom fort from going down. We can see them actually trying to zone out. 10s are here. We might see the actual engagement start coming through. They see they have a bit of an advantage, and Wolf is getting super low. Sound Barrier has to come out. But they're not going to kill anyone off of that Sound Barrier, and that's why Gust has to come out specifically. They do get all of the channel, though. That does mean the bottom fort's going to go down. And in the end, that's a good trade for Who Knows Gaming. They dropped Sound Barrier. They dropped Gust. And that was enough for them to be able... we got Gust, and I was hoping to see Gust, because Gust actually makes this a lot better for Who Knows Gaming. They don't want to get into long sustained fights with ReGen Blue. If that happens, and they don't kill anyone off of Sanctification like they just did, then they're going to be netting a loss in most fights. We see how low Jaina got just off that initial engagement. And could you imagine if there was a Abathur clone up and available at that time? That could have been actually quite rough. So, but they did get the bottom channel, which took out the bottom fort. They have evened up structures if they're not even slightly ahead because of the lack of a well here in the mid lane. They're going to steal this camp, and they have map control. Double global does give them a huge, a really good thing. It should be on. If it's not on, oh, okay, I see what's going on. I don't think it was recognizing it, so there we go. Let me know if that fixed the issue. I was concerned that was the case, and I didn't actually check to see if my game audio was working. My bad. I kind of got into the game and wasn't really paying too much of attention. Just give me a thumbs up if it's working. A big camp problem in the bottom lane, and you know, we do have a kind of a lack of wave clear issues. This is actually one of the reasons I sometimes see people go with like Abathur, or sorry, Junkrat with Abathur comps, so that you kind of have both a little bit of, you have that sustained damage that you want, but you also have wave clear, which Raynor really doesn't have. Greymaine's a viable option too as well, but the problem with Greymane is that his damage is always reduced from auto attack. So it's not until he gets into the later stages where that's okay, where he can apply enough pressure with it. So we're gonna trade out mid fort basically, and top fort too. Yeah, Abathur's got to leave, and Who Knows Gaming has a pretty commanding lead on this map. The globals are making things tough, and Abathur can't really survive in a lot of places, and they're making sure that they're using those globals and the rotation advantages they get to be able to push down structures, and that's going to put them ahead. You know, the next round is going to go after keeps, and this top camp is completely healthy, so they figure, hey, why don't we just push down the top wall and get ourselves a keep wall. It might even be able to get keep damage. We'll have to see. They can be overextended here, though. The Haka can show up at any time, and they didn't bring Varian for the fight. So Varian's going to start the boss, but that's going to be scouted out by the Haka, which means he can't really go for it now. The rotation will come in just to make sure that he's not there anymore, but I'm pretty sure they saw him run away. But now they're concerned about it. See Eminem Hitman actually snipe out the little Abathur, the Abathur mine. Yeah, he's got several of those. It's an interesting little play. Won't be able to see it now, but they do auto it just to be sure. And here is going to be the fight. It looks like Mungus is going to get hit with the tongue, but that's not the target that you want to be hitting with that. But Varian gets the isolation on him, but it looks like Lupus is sitting pretty rough. But that's the thing with this composition they're up against. When situations like get into that where you've got low health bars but a Sanctification and or a Sound Barrier still available, which they did use both, and they still had Gust still available, so it's really hard for them to like pressure out kills, because at the last second they're going to drop something like Sanctification, and then you can't really get the kill. And we're going to probably have Holy Ground popping up here for that means boss control is heavily also in favor of Who Knows Gaming, and I really think that this draft is just very well designed for this map. I think we saw, yeah, 2D was saying he liked the ReGen draft, and I think there was definitely good elements about it, but I think both globals going to the other side kind of neutralizes the big, like, macro advantages that you get out of Abathur. And then on top of that, when you've got Sanctification, Gust, and Sound Barrier, how do you win a fight? Like, you can't... You might be able to get ahead, and if you can bait out those ultimates completely done... I agree, Evolution was not used in that fight, and that might be actually the big thing that you're talking about. That might be the reason why that didn't go their way, as we did not see Ultimate Evolution come out. And that's something that's gotta be called confidently in comms. If you're not calling out those, if you're not calling in your clones, okay, it was used. I thought it. Okay, well, I obviously can't remember. Going moment to moment in the game. But yeah, like with Abathur, you want fast fights. You want to kill somebody within the 30 seconds or so. The ultimate evolution is up. 20 seconds. It's a 20-second window to kill a target. Now that's a long time in Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, if there was a cooldown on it, then he definitely did use it, which makes sense. If you're gonna take a full 5 fight, and they initiated that fight, you want to drop the clone. So we're gonna see an engagement coming out here. Augustin looking to pick off the Tyrael, but it's actually Eminem Hitman's a bit of trouble. He's not in range of any of the big things. The Gust comes out, but it's too late. And now Aya Horus is gonna keep Augustin available. He just needs to get in there and auto attack. I'm not entirely certain why he's trying to back away there. So they do get the kill onto Jaina. She was caught too far out and too far away from the save tools. Sound Barrier was not in range to hit, and Sanctification was not in range to hit. And although the Gust was the only save tool they had that could immediately help her out, it came out way too late and was not available at the time to keep her alive. So with that kill, we could see ReGen Blue finally start to climb themselves back into this game. They need to take another big fight. Ultimate Evolution, by the way, was not used in that fight. Yeah, in that fight for sure, there was definitely no Ultimate Evolution used. So that's ideal, I think, if you're ReGen Blue. You want to be able to. Now this is risky. So they have 2 globals on the side of Who Knows Gaming. And they're splitting, which means that they can take an uneven fight somewhere. Now we're going to see the clone pop, so it's going to be double Rainer. Double Rainer can be pretty rough if they're both hitting the same target, but Larson didn't step up, and instead is peppering away at the Dahaka. Varian goes down in the top lane, losing to Water Elemental and the Jaina. And now I think we see a bit of an uneven fight here as the clone is down. Mongoose is going to hop out. He needs to leave, though. He can die here. I want to keep him alive. So, not bad for ReGen Blue. They got most of the bot shrine channeled, which is good. And they got half of the top shrine channeled, which is great. Oh, no, it was opposite. They got most of the top shrine channeled, and they got under half the bottom shrine. So, funny enough, I think despite, I would say, kind of losing out in that because they got picked off in the top lane, Eminem Hitman getting a kill on Varian's solo is really good. But that Water Elemental does make his life hard, and Abathur was committed in the bot lane with Clone, so it was a good initiation. Wolf, though, is completely isolated, has to drop Sanctification to survive, but it's Larson that gets picked off. And now this is almost certainly going to be a keep. So we see Aya Horus coming out. See if he can pick off Wolf in the backline, but because he wasn't getting heals onto Mongoose, we're actually going to see him go down, and this could be, in fact, the end of the game. And that's looks like what it's going to be. So I think both teams are equally skilled in this matchup, and I think the Abathur draft was decent. I don't think that it was wrong. But I do think that the double global made it really difficult, and then you add basically sound barrier and sanctification and gust to everything, and it just makes it so that a team that really wants to win by taking fast fights and getting early pickoffs is just never going to get that opportunity, because you're going to get gusted away. You're going to get sanctification once you start getting anybody low, and then you've got sound barrier to deal with on top of all of that. So it's just so much stuff to get through. So that will be Who Knows Gaming taking game number 1 in this best of 3 series versus ReGen Blue. Here are your end of game statistics. I'll switch it to the right screen now. And yeah, that's game 1. Sky Temple, Who Knows Gaming, really coming out of the woodwork and making it good. Braxis was banned out, so I guess they didn't get that opportunity to start that one. I would say, though, Abathur Samuro would probably have completely ruined all the plans. I just don't think Varian brings the same kind of thing as the Samuro pick tends to. But alas, that's just not the way it was. So that's going to be game number 1. Check out the talent screen for everyone. And then I'll put us right to a break while we set up game number 2. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 in our best of 3 series of Who Knows Gaming versus ReGen Blue. We will be going to Infernal Shrines. Looks like it will be ReGen Blue taking first pick again, and we're going right into the draft. They are not waiting. This shit is getting started right away here. So we did see a bit of a switch up. Shin Kaigen has arrived and will be swapping in for Zuonhei. And yeah, that's the way things are. So we see a new Brack being banned out again. ETC, follow up to that one, just making sure Mongoose doesn't get his hero. It's a fair play. But again, more of that tank choke we saw in game number 1. Tyrael is going to be the game number 2 ban. Sanctification on top of sound barrier on top of gust was just too much to deal with. And they don't want that happening again. But I wonder if that means that they are looking for Abathur yet again. Diablo's going to be banned out again. And that's it. So full tank bans for the second time in a row. And another first pick Ana. Jason not taking the Anduin, not caring about it, going right for the Ana instead. And we're going to get Johanna. And Lucio again. So there's the first stat that I haven't quite put up yet. So we'll see. Kael'thas has been quite successful this season. 78% popularity. He's got a 55% win rate overall. That's a really solid stat line for him. And Malthael isn't picked a lot. Isn't banned a lot, but when he's taken, he seems to be executing very well. 80% win rate over the season in B West. Phoenix is going to be the ban. Now, that's an interesting one. I haven't seen Phoenix seriously played consistently for a while. 36% win rate, 19% popularity. That kind of explains a bit of what we're seeing here on why I don't see it quite as frequently. Softball stat, good value. He hasn't had a high win rate and his popularity rate is low, but 44% still somewhat respectable. And that's still a good pickup. Kel'Thuzad, however, is a 4% popularity rate with a 100% win rate. I feel like that statistic might not be true. Oh well. Blaze making his appearance. I don't think the win rate has been great for Blaze in all divisions. And yeah, that's pretty well established here. Blaze not quite working out. Uther is going to be the pickup, and we are going to get double support on Infernal Shrines from ReGen Blue. Uther hasn't been the most popular pick, but in this tank role that he's been kind of been taking over slowly, he seems to be quite good, and that's a 100% win rate. He's probably only been picked like 3 or 4 times, but that means he's won every time he's been picked, so that's a good, powerful statistic. Let me make sure that I'm doing things properly. Oh. That's going to be Mongoose on the Blaze. So things are looking a little interesting here. On the Malthael. Larson on the Kael'thas. We'll be getting into the game right away here. Lupus is on the Thrall. And Kaigen is playing the Kael'thas. And we have Eminem Hitman taking on the Rainer. I guess I should do the actual introductions later. Make sure we got everything switched over. Okay, I'm no longer behind. I got behind because I was talking, as is usual. So we're just going to get right into the game. Why is that still on? Oh my god, I am such a loser today. Alrighty, game number 2, looking for the 2-0 domination, second one of the season. Who knows gaming? Lupus on the Thrall, Wolf playing Johanna, Crazy Buttes on the Lucio, Shin Kaigen on the Kael'thas, and Eminem Hitman playing the Rainer. And on the other side of the map, we see Jason back on the Ana, Augustin playing Malthael, Grendel playing the Uther, Larson playing the Kael'thas, and Mongoose on the Blaze. So I think we're seeing tank Blaze. I feel like I've seen this from them earlier, where they went double support, Malthael Blaze with the backliner. So it's an interesting pick. Augustin's going to handle the off lane and can do the double soak, which is good. We're going to have quite a bit of lockdown available between sleep, gravity lapse, jet propulsion plus oil, as well as Uther stuns, especially if it goes Divine Storm. So, looking at the... We're going to get Fear the Reaper, not Pale Horse, so maybe not a lot of double soaking expected from August Sun. Already have 15 stacks to Hammer of the Lightbringer, so Uther playing the off lane so that he can get maximum stacks off of his auto attacks, which he's not going to clear fast, but he will clear, and that's all that really matters. So we're not seeing a rotation, it's a 1-1-3. And Who Knows Gaming is looking to just be getting rotated. Murda, you are the bomb. Thank you so much for the raid and bringing everyone in. If you haven't already, please hit the follow button. You can catch me every single time I go live for a stream, in casting, and the other things that I do on my channel. If you're interested, if you're feeling extra generous, subs, biddies, and the tip jar at the bottom is absolutely available as well. Again, thank you, Murda, the boss, bringing in all of the raiders to make this a wonderful matchup here. So pop up, take a quick look at the other stats. Oh, only Malthael has done any hero damage on the side of ReGen Blue. ReGen Blue has been playing super far back, hasn't been looking for any fights. Grendel looks like he might get caught out though. They are going to get a chain plus root plus stun, all that kind of stuff, but they were behind the wall, so it's kind of hard to get extra damage out there. And Grendel's just going to do his best to continue to get those stacks from Hammer of the Lightbringer, which he is more than halfway done. There's no one to link him to, but that's going to be a front wall, pretty much taken out entirely by Who Knows Gaming. But Mongo's playing this pretty smart, making sure that he's not like fast clearing, and that gives them the advantage when it comes to the lane soak. They're actually keeping up despite losing from front wall. But the rotation does eventually come in, and that does mean he has more to clear. We see August Sun doing his best to get some pressure into there. We are going to see Black Harvest being picked up. So I'm thinking that what we're going to see is Divine Shield, Tormented Souls. Thank you. I was definitely a noob before. I agree. Been putting the work in, and it might be paying off just a little bit. Here we see the big fights coming in, though. We're going to be a big root on Malthael and Mongoose, but he does get it healed up almost completely. That's the beauties of double support, keeping you alive. But Mongoose is getting completely chunked away by this Rainer, but we can see the advantage is still in favor ever so slightly of ReGen Blue when it comes to the objective. And it's going to be hard to pull Malthael off of this shrine. They really have to, like, focus him down, but Grendel might be in trouble. They do get a root onto August Sun. He is very low on mana, and that's the one big saving grace. Sevens do come in for Who Knows Gaming, but the objective does go to ReGen Blue, and so the rest of that soaking should come up pretty quickly. Again, Malthael's going to be able to win a lot of those trades with Thrall, at least until Thrall gets fully stacked, which he's now still not quite there. He needs one more. He finally does get it. Big root stun coming onto Grendel, but it is an Uther, so he's not too concerned about it. But the siege damage is really low. We see a Frozen Punisher taken, and it doesn't even get the front gate. Now, they did actually manage to get the gate, which is good. Uther's going Holy Fire, which is an interesting pick. Definitely not your standard choice. But if they want to get damage output, and he's standing in the middle of fights enough. So we're actually going to see an invade come in from ReGen Blue, feeling a little confident here with their three-man. Good boop from Lucio. Mongoose is getting super low, though, and all the help isn't there. We do see Uther finally rotate in, but so does Kel'Thuzad, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. There's going to be a lot of burst damage coming out, and that's going to be Mongoose going down. Grendel as well, so that's a 2-for-0. Who Knows Gaming, again, starting off the game with the kills and getting all the pressure. And August Sun fighting that Malthael, and we can see actually with this being completed and Ancestral Wrath being picked up, Thrall's ability to duel with Malthael is significantly better. Yeah, I wasn't implying that he's not a good... Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Nano, D-Shield, Tormented Souls is the plan. I'm concerned that's not going to be good until Black Harvest is completed. And then even then, that's not going to be good until they hit Momentum Mori, in my opinion. Which means that early game fights are going to be pretty tough to go. And I think giving up things like Last Rites is just a bad idea in a lot of situations. But, you know, if this is what they've been practicing, they're feeling confident in it, then who am I to judge? Kel'Thuzad gets his phylactery completed, and he's one stack away from getting Master of the Cold Dark, which is going to increase his ability to kill targets significantly. And with this double camp stack, this is so well done by Who Knows Gaming. They were just making sure that they had this set up very well. They've got decent wave clear on the side, but it's still not as fast as you'd like it to be. And they couldn't really step up into that 5-man stack, and really, ReGen Blue's just doing their best to try to get their level 10s, which they do finally get. They're going to chase down Eminem Hitman. He's trying to juke. They realize he's split, though, so Mongoose comes in. Bunker goes down to trap them in there, which was pretty cool. And there goes the big kill off of Kel'Thuzad. The stack's coming through. The burst damage is intense. And yeah, the D-Shield didn't come out, so that's what we see. We see Nano, we see D-Shield, we see Tormented Souls. But another 3 for nothing, despite the invade, the initiation coming out from ReGen Blue. They were the ones that picked that fight and wanted to take it. And in the end, unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. But there is a big saving grace coming into this. The only ultimate used in that contest was Bunker, which does mean that they are still more than capable of invading and onto the shrine. And if they can find a good engagement, that could be a problem. Fighting on the shrine, though, is kind of what this is all about. I'd like to see ReGen Blue get in position, though. They want to fight here. This is a good place for them to fight. They want to fight before 13s. I'd like to see a bit more of a flank attempt. Because, yeah, 31, they don't even need to commit. Who Knows Gaming can just kind of back out of this. And now it's going to be a dead Uther. And he's going to get the heals off, but that does mean D-Shield is not available. So despite Nano, Tormented Souls, I don't know if it's going to get the value they were looking for. They are super low. Sound Barrier just came up, though, and that's a bit of a problem. August doing his best to drop those health bars. The Sound Barrier doing a pretty good job, but the Punisher is going to be got. And that's going to be going down a lane without a fort, so this is going directly onto the keep, and Malthael was picked off by Kel'Thuzad. And those combos really coming through, making life hell for ReGen Blue. But they're going to have to bait this over. Mongoose gets the pull. But it's going to be tough to break this down. Hyperion doing a lot of work, getting good pressure onto the front wall and getting everything out. So it's going to be right onto this mid fort. Thrall is split, so this is actually an opportunity for ReGen Blue to go for a fight. The Punisher's almost down. They just need to take the fight now. But that's going to be a double root into a huge Shadow Fisher, which is going to kill Uther again. Bunker comes down to keep Mongoose alive, but I think he's stuck into a lot of CC. Lots of damage coming out from Malthael. He does get the kill onto Raynor. Lupus did come in to try and reinforce. The combo does come out. August Sun luckily not dying. In fact, Sundering saved his life there. And things not looking great for ReGen Blue. They do get a kill, though. And that's getting a kill on the board is a start. It's a start to get things back into the direction they need to. All they really need is one good Punisher and some kills on top of that, and they can definitely turn this game around. Things are looking dire, but they're not unwinnable at this point. So Kick's not appreciating the number of traded flame strikes coming out, and I kind of agree. I generally like my trait to empower either my gravity lapse for like a lockdown blow up, or I like it to trait out my living bombs for 2 reasons. More living bombs is always good, and but the real reason is the mana reduction is also really nice. So, you know, but at the same time, you can get good values out of Qs. We can look at the talent build. This fort's going to go down. We're going to see the initiation coming out, and actually, huge follow-up route onto August Sun. He does get the D-Shield finally, and that might be the combo we need to actually get this going forward. They're getting a ton of damage onto Who Knows Gaming, and that's a great slow into his stun. Wolf is going to go down here. August Sun will finish off the kill, and that's a 2-for-1. That is what ReGen Blue wanted, so they actually saved the fort. They get 2 kills. They need to clear this, but well done. That's what we need to see from ReGen Blue if they're going to come back into this. Now, D-Shield's down for another 60 seconds. Tormented Soul's down for another 40, so they don't want to take another fight right away. But those 2 kills were clutch. They were definitely what you wanted. We finally see a little bit of life coming in from ReGen Blue. Now, Who Knows Gaming did go down there and pick off the fort, which, I mean, it was pretty low. And as I said before, without these 2 here, they don't want to take a fight. So you kind of have to let those go. But they're really close to 16. Unfortunately, though, they're not close enough before the actually objective comes up, and they're not going to be. And so ReGen Blue has to make a choice here. They either have to fight down 16s, and they're going to go for it. There goes the combo. D-Shield is available, so can they keep Malthael alive a little bit longer? But he goes into the bunker, which cleanses it off. Well, it makes the effect of it not very good, and then that's going to be 2 kills. So I think D-Shield dropped before then anyways, but I don't know. It looked pretty close. And yeah, they're just going to run him down, and that's just bad. In fact, if I were Who Knows Gaming, I would end the game right now. No. Go mid. Go mid, kill this fort, and end the game. This is GG, 100%. Those are 30-second death timers. With what you guys have for damage, you can definitely kill the core. Rainer's good enough. Brawl is good enough. Healthazad has decent siege. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible. But instead, the respawn timers are going to come up. They will clear out the mid keep. And next Punisher is still going to be threatening keep plus potentially core. Yeah, they can't save this keep. I don't think. Oh, they do manage to get it. They have to kill this this catapult, though. And I just don't know if it's worth saving. I mean, it straight up doesn't have anything left. What's really the problem here is this is going to be going on to this keep. And now they're potentially going to be looking at 2 lost keeps. Although, it's probably safe to say that that was going to be the case anyways. August Sun is the one up here frontlining. He's going to take the Punisher bounce, and that's going to put him pretty low. He really needs to get a lot of heals out there, but it's just not coming through. And now, Who Knows Gaming says, well, now we can end for sure. And with the pick off onto Mongoose, although he does not die, the D-Shield does come out. They do get the nano. Sound Barrier has to keep them alive, but I think this is going to be GG, and that's going to be the game. Who Knows Gaming picking up the 2-0 over ReGen Blue and getting 3 more points on the board. That'll put them at 6 points, which will help them climb a little bit closer to that potential 8th seed playoff spot. So there are your stats. I think Kel'Thuzad was a definite factor in a lot of those combo kills, and we got just fantastic sustained damage from him and Hitman. I'm gonna say this: everyone's been talking about Greymane being like the big winner over that last patch, but the movement speed increase for Raynor specifically is actually a huge buff. Like, he already was a kite god. and giving him movement speed, especially at 13 with Giddy Up, makes him just an absolute monster when it comes to getting out sustained damage. He was already extremely hard to kill with his E, with Q heals, all that kind of stuff like that, especially post 16 when you have Paint Them Red. He didn't take. Never mind. But you take Paint Them Red, he's like an unkillable son of a bitch. Like, he's just absolutely nasty. So, those are your talents. Those are your comps. 15-3. Who Knows Gaming coming out and playing a really solid set. GG's ReGen Blue. Good luck next time. Sorry for the loss, guys. We'll see if you can come back in the remaining matches of the season. So I'm gonna pop myself onto the interview screen. And I'm gonna go see if someone is available. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go find me appropriate. There we go. And how's it going? Well, congratulations, Wolf, on taking your second domination of the season. How you feeling? Yeah, the competition in B West is particularly steep these days. I think most of the teams here have all felt the sting of one team or another. And so it's nice when you can get those wins on the board. So, you guys lost the coin flip, got map pick. Was that kind of playing into what you wanted to do, though? Sure felt like it. Interesting draft. You guys went for the double global with Falstead to Haka, which gives you lots of map control, and actually inadvertently deals with the Abathur kind of count, offlane soak that that can be so oppressive on that map in particular. Were those two heroes enough? Oh, hold on a second here. Apparently no one can hear you. Okay. So, TLDR, everyone. Wolf's feeling good about the win, and they're happy to go play at Sky Temples. It's something that they like to play a lot. The question I was trying to get to was, were you concerned at all about the other draft, or were you pretty confident that you had the tools that you needed to deal with it?
I didn't even think about the Abathur until after it was picked and we were playing. It's like, hey, we're pre-10. We can be more aggressive than what we're normally.
Yeah, certainly. Boss control was pretty nice when you guys picked up. I really liked the draft, just generally speaking, as I was going through it. Abathur comps rely on really fast kind of win kills, and you guys have a lot of tools to stop that from happening with Gust, with Sanctification, and with Sound Barrier. So pretty well crafted composition, and like you said, it led very much to the idea that you knew what you were doing when you got onto the map, for sure. And came up with a nice, easy win.
Yeah, and it's just like we're just going to go tank for tank on bans and.
Yeah, that was actually quite curious. I saw that. Were you expecting them to be matching all the tank bans, or what? What's the idea behind the let's just choke the hell out of the front line kind of idea?
I think Mongoose likes to play Diablo and ETC the most, and they were taking tanks I wanted to play away, so it was like, well, we're not going to mess with other people's. We'll just go ahead and choke everyone out and then pick what's left. And I like playing Tyrael. I don't play him a lot, but he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, well, he's definitely a good pick on Sky Temple for the boss control. Holy Ground's pretty nice. And like again, the Sanctification made a lot of those fights almost unwinnable, just because he had so many layers of things that you could do to avoid dying. That it just made it really difficult for them to get any advantages. In fact, going into game 2, they banned out the Tyrael. How'd you feel about that?
Good, because it left Johanna open for me.
There you go. As that was banned in game number 1. So, were you intending to go Tyrael at all if it was still up, or
No,
was that just...
Joe would have been the tank to go to on Infernal.
There you
She's
go.
so good with the Shrine Clear that she has for a tank.
So, adding to that, apparently in B West, 100% win rate on Kel'Thuzad today. You guys played a pretty clean game of Infernal Shrines as well. Now, they went for double support with the Malthael Nano D-Shield Tormented Souls. Have you seen anything like that before?
I had not seen it till today. And it kind of hurt a couple times really bad.
Yeah, a few of those times where you guys got a bit aggressive, like on the bot for it, it kind of came out and you're like, whoa! They were able to turn around and kind of get those extra kills. But you were still pretty far ahead in the end, and being able to do it. Now, when you guys got that 5-man team wipe, was anyone calling core?
Not for like 10 seconds till after. I was like, oh, we could have just gone mid.
So I was calling it.
Yeah. So
30-second death timers, 5-man team wipe, mid keep almost dead. You guys can definitely core there.
Yeah, we realized that after we had continued clearance, like, well, we'll just take the safe play, get the Punisher, and just go. And he was able to make some jumps for us and help us secure some kills.
Oh, thank you, Eminem, for the 5 biddies. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Rainer actually did very well. Got lots of good sustained damage throughout that game, and I was quite impressed. Did good work all the way through. Now, looking forward, what are your guys' thinking as far as playoff prospects? Or do you think you can squeeze in the last 8? Who are your remaining kind of titans to slay, so to speak?
We have Arrogant Nephilim, I know, is left. What team is B-Train on?
Deviled Kegs.
Okay, we got Deviled Kegs. I think they're probably one we're watching the most right now, since we play them Thursday.
2 games this week?
2 games this week. And yeah, ReGen was our week 7 opponent, but they asked to play early. So we've moved that up quite a bit.
Alrighty. So, Arrogant Nephilim, Deviled Kegs. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head who you've got remaining, but there should be more on that.
There's more. I just can't think of them right now.
No problem. Alrighty then.
I think we got the scariest guys out already.
That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. What do you think your playoff prospects are? Do you think you can squeeze into that 8th spot?
I would like to squeeze into the 8th spot, but we're playing in Division B here in Nexus Gaming, and we're in Division 3 for Heroes Lounge, and this is a harder division overall.
Yeah, the competition just seems to be a bit steeper. I'm not entirely certain how the MMR ranges match up between the two.
I believe
at all.
If you look at it just like from straight down, their Division 3 is like equal to your guys' C.
Oh, okay.
So
feeling like it might be a little higher placed than you'd like to have been?
It felt that way at the first of the season.
But you guys have got your 2nd domination, which means you can beat teams. So I wouldn't say you're completely misplaced. You got plenty of time to get that last playoff spot in the bag.
Yeah. Oh, I think we still have Reborn Knights White, so running with Turtles still.
Yeah.
So that's one I'm not looking forward to.
They're a tough team. But if you do your scouting and you put your effort in, who knows? I mean, hey, you guys get a draft like you did on Sky Temple. Even Reborn White's gonna struggle in beating you guys there.
Yeah. They may not let us play Sky Temple after today.
Maybe not. Or at least not that composition on it.
Yeah.
That was nasty. Anyways,
It was fun.
Yeah, and it looked great, and it definitely was extremely effective. I was impressed. I thought it was great. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the shoutouts for me. Why don't you?
I'd love to shout out for Crazy Beats and Zuenji for playing with us in the first game, and Shinkagen showing up for the second game. He forgot that we were playing tonight. And shout out to ReGen Blue for allowing the last minute subs, because we weren't expecting to have roster issues tonight. And shout out to the rest of the team for playing absolutely phenomenal today.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for coming on for the interview. Hopefully you won't be stranger to the interview desk in the future there, Wolf.
Thank you for casting us tonight. It was fun.
No problem. I had a blast. Have a great night.
You too.
Alrighty, folks. That is going to be it for me. Thank you for coming in and watching this show. We had a great matchup tonight. Hoping to see a bit more in the future. If you haven't already, please hit the follow button. If you're feeling extra generous, biddies, subs, and the tip jar at the bottom are always available. And, me and my family here would definitely appreciate anything that you can do. And if not, follow and watching the stream is perfectly fine. It is exactly what I come on here to do. Hopefully I can get a bit more casts in this week. Thursday is probably the day that is looking like the next big one I can do. And maybe get some more afternoon streaming done. It's been a little bit rough. I had my power go out this afternoon. I was going to stream a little bit, but wasn't in the cards. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming in. Love to see you. Have a wonderful night. And we'll catch you later.